Timmy Joe reviews anything.
Reviewing computer parts on YouTube.
That's fine.
You gotta be pumped on that, right, Will? Computer parts! Woo!
Oh yeah.
What's going on, people? My name's Timmy Joe, making videos about computers on the internet, and today on the program we have one of the biggest, ridiculous, most crazy laptops from 2009 you could ever get your hands on. It's the Lenovo ThinkPad W700DS. DS, yes, and you can understand that the DS probably stands for dual screens. Yeah, so I gotta thank a viewer for not giving me, but for lending me this laptop. I don't want it. It's too big and heavy. It's crazy, but it'll be a lot of fun to have a video on. So I gotta thank Malcolm for letting me borrow this, because I have actually done a similarly priced-ish laptop in the past, but not without that little trick this thing's got. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the most badass laptop ever in existence. It's super, super cool. So let's just jump right into it. So we're gonna open it up, and it's an affair because the screen is so damn heavy. There we go, that stuff and things happen. So we'll sign in, and we're gonna look at specs, and then we'll look at it's a couple of tricks. It's got more than one trick, actually. It's got quite a fair bit of tricks. So we go over here and we'll load up CPU-Z, 2.55 gigahertz. It's got an Extreme Edition processor, and of course it does. It's got 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, running at 1066, and yeah, that's a QX 9300 overclockable. We will be doing some overclocking on this here laptop today. Should be fun. It's actually just a true ass quad core. It's a quad core, so it's pretty sweet. You know, it's got some speed to it for a laptop of the day. Memory, there we go, DDR3, double that, so 1033, SPD, there we go. Graphics, it's got a Quadro FX 3700M, which by all accounts is like a 9800 equivalent. It's like the mobile equivalent of like one of the top tier GPUs that you could get in a laptop back then, but it's a Quadro because this is a workstation. This is not, a gaming laptop, and with the kinds of things that's going on, you can understand why. This is not for just everyday Joe gamer, although it can definitely play Crysis. So we're gonna check that out as well. So we'll pop up a website here. This is a review from February 6th of 2009 on Wired.com, and I picked this review because it shows that the price of this laptop was $5,060. I've even seen a little bit more depending on the website you're looking at, depending on the options that it was decked out with. Yeah, this is a 8 out of 10. It's a pretty extreme notebook, and it's not a laptop, because I put it on my lap yesterday to do some testing, and my legs were on fire. They were on fire because this thing is warm, very, very warm, very, very large, very heavy. It's meant, if you're some sort of graphics designer or something like that, it's a workstation you can fit in a piece of luggage at least to bring, around, so that you can get your job done on the road. And we're going to we need to show you, right? We need to show you. So I'll do a little zoom in, there we go, and you pop this right here. Pop, headlight.
Pop up and down headlights. Pop up and down headlights.
Little donut reference for you guys that think I look like that guy. Anyways, so yes, It's hard to see because of the lighting, but it's got a dual screen. It has a secondary screen that pops out. And speaking of screens, we can go ahead and measure. This is a 17-inch screen, but it feels bigger than it is because it is 19 by 10 aspect ratio. It's actually a greater than 1080p resolution at 1920 by 1200, which is a resolution I miss for mobile because it lets you get a little bit more done, especially when you have this little secondary screen that I believe is 9 inches. It's 10 inches. Oh my goodness, that is super cool. 10-inch little mini secondary screen, and yeah, you can just drag and drop applications over to it. It's pretty, it's kind of a gimmick, but you know what? I could see that, if you have to type something out, or if, you're looking at a website and you need to, open Notepad and take some notes, look how convenient that is, for a mobile situation. This is, doing a review on this laptop. You could be like, wow, this laptop is great. But, it would allow you to get some extra work done. That is for sure. This is a very cool feature, and it's something that we've only seen recently as like prototypes from like Razer and stuff like that. That one that got stolen from CES the other year, that one that had the dual screen, or was that triple screens? Had some kind of weird screen going on. This is like way long. This is 10 years ago, and it's like a functional, not a prototype. This is a working like thing you could buy, and it actually is pretty damn functional, with the exception of how heavy and gigantic the laptop is. But I think you get rid of that, and like there was a non-DS version of this laptop, it would still be very, very heavy. We're gonna pop this guy in.
Pop up and down headlights up.
Because it makes it so I can't capture the screen. See, now it's capturing the screen. I'll load up a Cinebench here, and yes, I use hardware monitor, okay, because it's easy. Shut up about it. Everything's laid out really nicely, and it just works most of the time, except for if it can't tell the sensors. But it does tell the sensors in this one. So we can see here that the looks like we're getting up to, on one core, a turbo of 2.8 gigahertz. But if we run Cinebench here, it jots down really quick to 2.527 gigahertz. On all 4 cores, and fairly quiet. It doesn't ramp itself up. With the, I don't imagine that the cooling's very good in this thing. Like if we look at the bottom of it, it's got some air intakes, but there, there's some feet that bring it up like a couple millimeters. But as for air intake, like I'm surprised that during a workload like Cinebench, you don't hear the thing ramp up like crazy. I got some tricks up my sleeve. We can go to TP fan control, and you can go here and you can go manual. And I can get the fan ramping up, which is pretty cool. The fan ramping up is cool because that means that I can overclock the bitch now. I can overclock the bitch using a program. So we'll see here. See, we have two, didn't I? Yeah, unlock. So we're gonna unlock, set multiplier, and is that working? Yeah, it's already working. We're up to 3 gigahertz. They can get it up to 3.3. So I'll go ahead and I'll play with this for a second so that I can actually get you some real results. I'll do a stock run of Cinebench, and then I will do an overclocked run of Cinebench. That way I'm not blabbing at the camera while it's running. And we'll get some results on overclocking a laptop from 2009, because that's a fun thing.
Pop up and down headlights. Pop up and down headlights. Pop up.
Alrighty, woo! We got her all overclocked and stuff, and we got an all-core turbo of 2.5, a little bit more, getting around 266 on Cinebench, and we're able to bump that up to 3.2 nearly. That's quite a significant bump in frequency on all cores. We only see that the CPU is getting to 75 degrees. Now, I'm sure that I could do something major, like put fans into the intake, or, I don't know, put it in a freezer or something like that, but this isn't my laptop, and nor do I think that the power delivery on the laptop really could, necessitate such an overclock. But the mere fact that you can get a laptop to overclock 700 megahertz under load-ish, That's incredible. That's very cool. With a simple program that you can download, I guess if you have one of these Extreme Edition processors. I was unaware of this because I have done this exact CPU in an HP laptop, and I didn't know it was that easy to overclock. Just one program to download, and then I looked for a program to change the fan speed. And we go from 260 something in Cinebench to 328. That is quite a significant bump to be jumping up. And then if you look, they have profiles here that, there's a game profile, there is a performance, a battery, and an internet. And you can kind of switch all these around. I'm going to, for gaming, we'll see if it affects gaming. So I'm going to put that to 11. Wait, I got to unlock, there we go. I think that should change, yeah, okay. Because I don't know how close the GPU is in here to the CPU. And instead of go on the bleeding edge for the gaming, we'll just leave the CPU up there just a bit. We'll close these programs. It has the horsepower to handle Crysis, for God's sake. So I'm gonna load up Crysis. Well, no, before we do that, I just want to say, you saw it in the intro here. There is a Wacom pen. I don't know if it's actually Wacom. ThinkPad UltraNav point. Okay, so no, it's not a Wacom branded thing. I don't think that there's a battery in this either. Usually Wacoms are active. This seems to be some sort of passive. But if I go down into just to show what's going on with it, you can go in here in Windows 10 and it allows you to do some touch input stuff. Like if I get rid of this, I can go over here and I can, draw a computer because that's what a computer looks like, right? No, I didn't get this part. Yeah, this is a computer, and my drawing skills are not very good. But there's a button on the pen that I assume it'll. Oh, what does the button do? It allows you to grab color, probably. And wait, there's an eraser in the back. Yeah, the erase. There we go. We can erase too. So that's a pretty cool feature. There's also a fingerprint scanner. So this thing was the cock of the walk back in the day. Camera. Let's see. Can we load the camera? Let the camera you see your precise location. No. Ah, there we go! Camera! So, let's go ahead and load up Crysis, and we can see just how fun it is to play video games on a high-end workstation laptop from 2009. What's going on? So we're back. We got the freaking Crysis loaded up, and we're at 720p high settings. It was suggested to run at 1080p high settings, but like the game itself. But we're coming up on the island here, and we're going to see what kind of FPS we can run. We're running currently at a very cinematic 30 frames a second, 24 frames a second. But the mere fact that this is, Crysis came out 2 years before this laptop launched, but this would probably be one of the more high-end laptops you could get at the time. And it's running Crysis pretty damn well. Like, the frame rate, I don't think translates to how well it's actually running. So we're going to shoot some guys here. We're going to go and kill the people on the boat and stuff. I could lower the graphics a bit, I think, and, achieve a little bit better of a gameplay. But personally, for a first-person shooter like this, as long as we don't have hard stutters, which it seems like we're not, like it's fairly fluid, I might want to keep the details up on a game like this in order to better experience back in 2009 what this laptop could do. So this is... Oh, that damn boat has a big minigun. But yeah, oh my god, and that's that guy. I'm not supposed to just like fart around. Here, armor mode. I'm gonna die. Get close. There we go. The control button is, there's a function button where the control button should be. Here, I killed that guy. Fucking A. I'm gonna swim faster. I'm gonna jump up on the boat. Jump up on the boat. I might need the strength. There we go. Get up on the boat! What's up? There you go. So, let's move on to some more modern-ish games. We'll see what we can run here. Alright. BioShock Infinite 720p running at high settings, and we have a similar experience to Crysis, where we're hovering around 30 frames a second, but what makes this notable is that I don't feel any real stutter or super slowdown with this graphics card. I tried to overclock the graphics card and I was not successful. It seems like you can in MSI Afterburner, but it doesn't accept the settings and it tends to just crash things. So if I remember correctly, last time I was playing this game, I got lost and I couldn't figure out where to go. But yeah, generally around 30 frames a second. Is there some sort of VSync going on? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Options, graphics, high, lock frame rate off. Okay, so no. It's just literally going at 30 frames a second. Uh-oh. Ah! I'm just gonna murder. I'm gonna murder these guys. Oh yeah, that's a murder. There we go. We should get the corpses. Yeah, steal all their monies. Ah! So yeah, this is a pretty good gaming experience considering, like, you could turn the details down a bit at 720p and get an even better frame rate, but it's not too bad. So I said more modern. This game's from 2013, so jumping up 5 years on a similar AAA title, even though Crysis was very hard to run when this thing came out, so the fact that it can play it so well is an homage to this thing and how well it's doing. Let's jump into some more modern stuff, though, that's for sure. Rocket League, 1080p, okay, with performance mode. I think I want to put this stuff to performance mode as well. Yeah, that should be good. Custom, yeah, so render detail, performance, there we go. That's, yeah, performance, there we go. So, see, it's 1080p, though, so on this monitor, we're able to play at a very high resolution. I'm going to join the blue team, and I think that you'll agree with me. This is some pretty sweet gameplay. Watch this. 46 frames a second. Totally pretty damn fluid. That's the one thing I noticed about this laptop, especially once I overclocked it, was there's just like no traditional stutter from like a crappy graphics card. You know, even though this thing I think only has a gig of GDDR3 RAM dedicated on it. It's a workstation graphics card, like a 9800, I think, it like would be equivalent to on the mobile side. So that's really good. So look how fluid this gameplay is, up in the 50s. Very good stuff. I'm not very good at Rocket League whatsoever. I'm gonna kick it that way because, you know, whatever. Oh, right, there we go. Get this ball in the net. Yeah! Oh! Shot on goal! Oh! Get it in there! Get it in! Yeah! I had an assist there. So we scored in Rocket League. Super smooth gameplay. This thing is turning out to be a very cool, sort of half not bad retro machine. A lot of people would be happy with the performance this is producing in a fairly modern game. But let's go and play an even more modern game. Well, it's not as modern as this, but it is more modern. You'll see in a second. Alright, so you ever play CSGO with the nubbin? Huh? The nubbin? We'll see if we can get a kill with the nubbin. Especially in the first pistol round here. So we're running, there we go, 82 frames a second. That is awesome. Can we get a kill with the nubbin? Almost. Why isn't it working? The bot is killing me. Ah! Alright, the nubbin's not working out. So, as we can see, we're running a little CSGO here, and this is a pretty damn decent experience considering we're running at 1080p. Shut up, servers. We're playing on a real online match here, and it's completely playable. 1080p low settings. We'll try and get a kill here to prove how playable it is. See if we can't. A little bit mushy keys, you know, this is a used machine. I just killed a guy. Killed another guy. All right, so this is superior in every way to most laptops of this era with 15 HP left in my docket. No, we're gonna die. So, I'm blown away by the game performance on this thing. It is truly, like, still in today's age, if you want to play some older games, a very high-end system. I mean, with 4 gigs of RAM and, 3.2 gigahertz, 3 gigahertz if you overclock it, with a base, of 2.5 if you're not overclocking. Just bump the fan up. Actually, yeah, the fan's up. You can bump the fan up to maximum. You can't even hear the damn thing. It's pretty good. It's got a really loud set of speakers, a very good 1920 by 1200 screen, the 17 inches. It has that little extra screen. Thanks to Malcolm for sending this thing over for me to check out. I can't believe how amazing the performance is on it. Like, ultimately, if it was a little bit smaller, I might consider it as, like something to keep around if I had the option, because it's such a powerhouse, but it's very large. It's very, very large. I mean, it must weigh, oh, beep, yeah, it likes to beep a lot. It has a card slot, I didn't even see that, so you can put a micro SD card in it and everything. And, Lenovo's, they're built like brick shithouses, man. What happens if you pull the screen out here? A little extra tray for your airline seat. So I'm at Watch Timmy Jones Graham here. Thanks to Malcolm for sending this out. If you have something weird and you want to send it my way, I mean, if you're, can send it in the post or whatever, or, some way, and as a small item, that's much appreciated. Me at timmyjoe.com. I haven't asked for donations, but, you don't have to send me stuff that's regular everyday stuff, but weird stuff like this, graphics cards. Actually, watch this. Malcolm also sent me this. A 5970 dual GPU, and this is a DirectX 11 capable card. I believe we will be looking at this as long as it works, because every time I look at one of these things, yeah, 5970, 2 gig of GDDR5. So this will be a really cool card to play some retro games on. I doubt it'll do much in the way of modern games, but we could definitely see if it'll run Fortnite or something like that. But at Watch Timmy Joe Instagram and Twitter, this has been a look at the Lenovo W700DS for dual screen. And it's not a gimmick, man. It, legitimately, assuming that it'll tune back on right now. There we go. It legitimately has its purpose. It gives you a little extra screen that you can, put your MSI Afterburner screen on, or, write a little notepad or something like that. And it truly is like extra functionality. And I'm sure in today's day and age, you could build this into a laptop and have it be much lighter and smaller. So I don't know why this didn't catch on, but I guess, it is kind of a gimmick. They did try and do that whole, Razer extra screen thing. I don't know. Pretty cool stuff. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Hopefully I get my anniversary edition next week. Still haven't heard. They've had it for 4 days now. Thanks. See you guys in another video. I'll catch you later. We're definitely building the case next week, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on Twitter. See you later. Bye.